I designed this 3D paper checker set to be a fun activity that a parent and child could do together. I specifically wanted this game to be playable, not just an activity to assemble it, but an activity to actually play it together. So instead of just making flat paper circles, which would be really hard to lift and move to play the game, I made this three-dimensional set that would be very easy to lift and play the game with. As we know in checkers, you need to be able to differentiate between the regular pieces and the king pieces. So I also made these pieces so you could easily flip them over and change the orientation so they will look different from the regular pieces. The board is easiest to put together, and it's the only thing that needs glue. So you just cut out the two pieces, put a line of glue down the rectangle where it says glue, and overlap the pieces and put them together. I put a book on top of mine to make it dry flat. I designed these to be as easy as possible to cut out. And so they're all just straight lines here. And I test drove this with my 5-year-old. And she did great cutting around each rectangle. It doesn't matter if the lines are a little bit wobbly as long as it's pretty close. Doing the outside of these rectangles is fine. However, you do need to be a little more precise with these two shortcuts in each end. So what worked best for us is she cut the rectangle out and then I did the small cuts. These pieces are also lined up side by side to make them quicker and easier to cut out. These are the only pieces in the set that don't have all straight lines, and that's so that it's easier to differentiate between the regular pieces and the king pieces. However, if you don't want to cut out all of the curves and zigzag lines, you don't have to. This is the set that my 5-year-old made with me, and she wanted to do these pieces all by herself, but she wasn't comfortable doing all the curves and zigzags, so she just cut it as a rectangle, and it works just fine. Of course, if you want to take a little extra time to cut out each piece, that will make the pieces more easy to differentiate even from the back. So it takes a little more time, but it will make your set a little bit easier to play. Now, once you have all of your pieces cut out, all you need to do is assemble the pieces, and it's easy because you don't need any glue at all. What you do is you take your long rectangle piece and roll it up and align the slits and then weave them together like this. You'll want one end inside and one end outside. I used cardstock, so it's taking me a little bit more time to wiggle them together, but regular printer paper will be less sturdy but easier to put together. Then once you have your loop, you just insert the piece into the center. When I did this with my daughter, I made the loops and she inserted the middle pieces, and we did it together really quickly. And you just do that to every piece, and then you're ready to play.